What's up, guys? Sports Snippets. Dennis Sullivan. How in the world are you doing? Dolphins, hang in there. It's gonna be a I don't mean to say long season as in a bad season, but long season as in there's still 15 games left. So you got 17 games now. 1-1 start. Gonna get into this one, but this was disappointing, guys. Dolphins get pretty much destroyed at home in the home opener, 35-0. To the Buffalo Bills. Not many good things to say here. I'm sorry. But I'm going to break it down for you. If you do like the content, this particular video, go ahead, hit that thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe as well. Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan, guys. Let's get right into it. This was disappointing once again. Tua goes down with the injury. Status as I make this video is uncertain. He left with the rib injury. Jacoby Brissett comes in, plays somewhat decent, I mean, all things being considered. But this was a tough one, guys, especially when you consider the fact that the Dolphins also got destroyed again against Buffalo to end the year last year with a playoff position on the line, and Buffalo would basically end our season, even though it was a successful one, at 10-6. So I certainly, as a fan, wanted to see a heck of a lot more in this game. I didn't see it. Big story here, of course, is Tua status. Once again, uncertain as I make this video right after the game. So I haven't heard any further updates as of right now. And as mentioned, this was the home opener for the Dolphins. They got beaten pretty much every facet of the game. Not really one particular area. In other words, they ran, okay. They didn't run much, though, because they were dead. Before you know it was 14-0. That was the big problem in this game. You had the big run by Singletary. The next thing you know, Buffalo, boom, 14-0. They score again. And that's kind of how it ended, even though it was 35-0 as the final score. Dolphins get shut out in their home opener. Guys, what is this? Okay. And it was one of those games, too, where the opponent, in this case Buffalo, they didn't completely dominate each area, but they handily beat the Dolphins in each area. In yards gained, in sacks, in penalties. They just won each category. Not like by an avalanche in either one. They just decisively won each category. Tua, as mentioned, goes 1 of 4, 13 yards before leaving the game early. Jacoby Brissett, 24 of 40, 169 yards and an interception. Dolphins, as mentioned, did not run much, but when we did, it wasn't that bad, really, in terms of yards per carry. Myles Gaskin, 5 carries, 25 yards. Malcolm Brown, 5 carries, 21 yards. He had Salvin Ahmed, 6 carries, 17 yards. Brissett chips in 8 yards on the ground, 4 carries. Jalen Waddle, 6 catches, 48 yards. Devontae Parker, 5 catches, 42 yards. Mike Gesicki finally gets involved. Wasn't involved at all in week 1. 3 catches, 41 yards. But this wasn't the same Dolphin team in week 2. They played much better week 1. Gaskin, 4 catches, 21 yards. Albert Wilson, 4 catches, 20 yards. Cethan Carter, catch for 8 yards. Preston Williams, catch for 2 yards. Excuse me, there goes my voice. Jakeem Grant was credited with a catch, but no receiving yards. For the Bills, now the offensive line, guys, for the Dolphins, let me just touch on that. Allow 6 sacks. Come on, guys. The offensive line did not play well in pass protection at all. Brissett, if he wasn't sacked, he was under duress. He didn't have, not on every attempt, but on several attempts, he wasn't comfortable, and in some cases did not have enough time to throw the ball. Josh Allen didn't need to put up big numbers in this one. 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw an interception, but where Josh Allen also hurts you, it's kind of frustrating as a Dolphin fan, because if he's not hurting a team with his passing and throwing off the defense, he's effective on the ground, guys. He just can turn it up a notch with his own running ability when he wants to. 5 carries, a very effective 35 yards on the ground for Josh Allen. Devin Singletary with a huge run to start the game. The big 46-yard touchdown, finishes 82 yards on the ground, 13 carries. Zach Moss, very talented backup running back for the Bills. 8 carries, 26 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Zach Moss. He did lose a fumble. Reggie Gillum, 2 carries, 2 yards. Michael Trubisky was credited with 2 carries, minus 2 yards. Stephon Diggs, and it was receiving by committee really for both teams. No one had a standout game. Diggs did pretty well, though, as he always does. 60 yards receiving, 4 catches, and a touchdown. Keep forgetting Emmanuel Sanders is now on the Bills. Are you kidding me, guys? This is going to be a tough team to beat here. 2 catches, 48 yards. Cole Beasley, 4 catches, 36 yards. Singletary out of the backfield, 17 yards receiving on 2 catches. And, Singletary 9 yards receiving on 2 catches. That was Dawson Knox with 17 yards receiving, 2 catches, and the touchdown. Moss, 2 catches, 8 yards. Isaiah McKenzie gets credited with a catch for a yard. So, very disappointing home opener. Offensive line, we got to improve our pass protection, no doubt about it. You got to look at it like this. The Bills, they were in the NFL's version of the Final Four last year as they went to the AFC Championship only to lose to Kansas City. Bills even their record at 1-1. Dolphins, with the horrific loss, even their record also at 1-1. Let's just touch on some game stats, guys, and then a few final thoughts as we close out this Week 2 recap. Bills, now here we go. Bills, as you'll see in this example, they just kind of won every category. And in many cases, nothing fancy, they just won. They just beat down the Dolphins. First downs, 21-13, favor of the Bills. Pretty decisive. Fourth down conversions, kind of interesting. Dolphins would go on fourth down 4 times and not convert any. Bills 1 for 1. Total yards, Bills 314. Dolphins only 217. So it's like a 100-yard difference. Okay. But the Bills defense, that's the big story here. The Bills D in this game, guys. If you're going to point to one thing, the Bills defense was ready to go today. They were just fired up. Rushing yards, pretty decisive. Bills 143 on the ground. Dolphins 71. They didn't run much, but then again, the Bills gained almost to the yard, twice as many yards on the ground as the Dolphins. Fumbles lost. All right, the Bills lost 1. Dolphins lost 2 fumbles. Penalty yards, 53 for the Bills, but 83 for the Dolphins. See, they didn't really do well in any category. And then the big one, as far as I'm concerned, the big category, Buffalo only allows 1 sack. The Dolphins allow 6 sacks. So guys, it's those negative plays, the sacks, the fumble before the half was stomach-turning type stuff with the fumble right before the half. Although the Dolphins caught a break because it was 14-0 at that time, would go into the half still 14-0. But still, guys, it's the negative plays by the Dolphins that really did them in. And again, for the home opener, it's a very disappointing performance by the Dolphins. So we'll see how things go as we go into Week 3. I wrote the word Bills because, this was one of the Final Four teams last season, just a win away from the Super Bowl last year. They played like it today, guys. They played like it today. They really came in, and this was a road game for the Bills. They came into South Florida and basically showed the Dolphins who's boss. That's the way it went. I'm not happy saying that, but that's what happened. So, all right, you look at it through 2 weeks. You have an injured starting quarterback. That, of course, is never a good thing. We wish Tua the best. Hopefully, return soon, as soon as possible. Dolphins now 1-1. Bills also now with the win 1-1. What's going to happen next week as we go into Week 3? The Dolphins will go and play the Raiders. That's the Las Vegas Raiders. Classic football matchup. Both teams always play each other tough. That'll be a tough game for the Dolphins. Got to win that one. That's one of those games on the schedule, though, that is winnable. That's a big game for the Dolphins. The Bills will play a very underrated Washington football team. Heineke taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick, who got injured in week 1. Who's a good, that's a good backup quarterback though. So Bills really won't have an easy time either, as Washington football team was a playoff team from last year, and are also 1-1 this season. So guys, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. We'll talk again soon. This was a tough one, Dolphins. Gotta go into week 3 against the Raiders. Like, this is, I mean, a week 3. I'm not saying a must win, but this is a big one coming up against the Raiders in week 3. We're going to talk again soon. Bye for now.